In this Star Wars Battlefront 2 news update video, I will be sharing with you some brand new sales figures for the game, which are mightily impressive. Loads of new data has just come in and I thought I'd update you in this quick video, but before we do dive into all of today's news, make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future Star Wars Battlefront 2 news updates. So over the past few weeks, I have been waiting for the brand new chart data to come in terms of sales in the US of the game. This is by far the most accurate chart data that you can get because it takes into account all of the platforms and various stores, including a breakdown of the EA app, Steam, plus the Epic Games Store combined, which is very important for Battlefront 2. Most people own Battlefront 2 on the EA app or the Epic Games Store. It's only more recently that it's done well on Steam. It's not counting all the people that bought the game before live service ended. So let's get started with the best-selling games in the US for May 2025. This covers both physical and digital copies across all platforms, so Xbox, PlayStation, the EA app, Epic Games Store, the Nintendo eShop, Steam and more. Battlefront 2 managed to achieve 12th place. It was the 12th best-selling game by dollar sales in the month of May in the US, which is truly incredible. It went up from 135th place in the month of April. Considering there were two big new releases in May, Dune the Dark Ages and Elden Ring Night Reign, it probably would have hit number 10 in other months. Let's now take a look at how well it did on PC in May. So once again, dollar sales, physical and digital combined across all platforms, so Steam, the Epic Games Store, Ubisoft Connect, the EA app and such. It came in 5th place in May, up from 76th place in April. Top 5. Wow, for Battlefront 2, considering that for the majority of its life cycle it has been almost like 80 to 90% console players, that is just incredible. It's up there with Helldivers, The Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, and Doom the Dark Ages, and of course Elden Ring Night Reign. We saw it reach as high as 5th place on Steam some days, but we didn't really actually know how well it did across the entire month. Now we do, and it came in 5th place overall, which is honestly something we should all be proud of. Those that joined in and hopped in, yes, it was on discount, but still, it's great to see, and it just means there are way more players available to check out Kaiba when it does launch. Sakana also report that the most played time for Battlefront 2 was during the week of May 25th, thanks to the combination of Revenge of the Sith and of course, huge discounts. Also, you shouldn't forget that it included the whole Fortnite ordeal that was going on, and of course Kaiba that sort of kickstarted this movement a little bit, just because people were looking for more content. And of course May 4th, which just happens every year. Now 5th place and whatnot is all well and good in various charts, but what about 1st place? Well, I have a chart that has Battlefront 2 on top. So in June, Battlefront 2 was the best-selling game on PC and console combined, digital and physical combined, in Germany. Seriously, it beat out EAFC 25, which always does well in European countries, and Elden Ring Night Reign, EA Sports F1 25, GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. So this is for June, and this is a month after sort of the main resurgence month. So in some regions it actually did better in June than May. We also have some charts for the weekly active users of games, the top 15 across consoles and PC. Now it has unfortunately lost out of the top 15 on both Xbox and PlayStation. It's no longer in the weekly most played game charts on the consoles, which is a shame to see, but expected. Honestly, it lasted longer than I thought, and I think most people expected. However, it has actually broken into the top 15 on Steam, which I don't think almost anyone expected until it started gaining a lot more traction on Steam, and it was 90% off. So it reached 14th as the most played game on Steam in the week ending June 28th. So very, very cool to see that, ahead of some big titles and just behind some much bigger titles, and more recent ones as well. It has dropped off a little bit since then, so I wouldn't expect to see it in next week's charts, and unfortunately it is no longer in the console charts, but still, in terms of a smaller sample size on Xbox, it did drop down to 18th last week through True Achievements, which is still good. It's much better than how it's doing on PlayStation, where it's down to, I think, 30th, I think I said in my video the other day, whereas Xbox has sort of stuck around 13th to 14th, and now it's down to 18th, but still, still within the top 20 is pretty good for this game. I also wanted to mention something else that I put out in my previous video. So I showed a clip of John Boyega playing the game last weekend. Some people seem to think it was an old clip. No, it actually happened last weekend at Denver Fan Expo. I was right, it was some sort of Comic-Con. I just didn't know which one it was. And I had a bunch of people comment saying, hey, I met John at the event and talked to him about Battlefront 2 and stuff. So that was really cool. It's really great to see a bunch of my viewers actually got to meet him and talk to him about Battlefront 2, and they all said he was great in person. So I'm really glad you guys got to meet him and had a great experience with him. I think next month we probably won't get any meaningful chart data for this game because it has seen a bit of a drop-off. I think we've reached the peak, unfortunately. That said, all this is great and is going to show not just EA but more so other publishers that there is a desire for people to play multiplayer Star Wars games. That is the end goal that this movement was about, really. We knew we wouldn't be able to get Battlefront 3 from EA and DICE, but a new game, not necessarily Battlefront, but something at least to get us over until they reboot the franchise inevitably at some point. This is all good news. Let me know down in the comment section below any of your thoughts on what I've talked about in this video, and if you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future Star Wars Battlefront 2 news updates, and if you did miss any of them, click on the playlist on the screen right now, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.